Roll up, roll up. It's this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. And yeah, it's the sleek, suave, sophisticated, handsome host step in, because unfortunately Gareth is feeling unwell, so he went to bookaspare.com and he got me. And this feels like my gazillionth live stream this week because I've just been on air for what feels like the last week, starting at 7:30 in the morning my time. So bear with me if I'm seeming a bit jaded. Anyway, I am joined by the guy that's always dependable. He's always here. It's Nige. Say hello, buddy.
Well, that is probably the nicest things you ever said. Hello.
How you doing this week, buddy?
Yeah, well, you know the old saying: if you're not going live, you're not living.
Yeah, I've been live a lot this week. It's been a interesting week. Probably talk
I
about it.
Made that up, by the way. But
hey. Okay, so yes, unfortunately, Gareth has been struck down. He's not got the Rona, so he's all good. We're going to be talking about a few things this week, including BioShock movie getting cancelled, Tom Holland auditioning for Star Wars, a trailer for Star Wars: The High Republic, Twisted Metal live action TV series, and loads and loads of gaming news. But I'll be here all day listing it all out if I go through it now. So let's just get straight into it. And I will bring up the first story. And of course, because I'm no professional, I had it scrolled down. So you may or may not know that there was going to be a BioShock movie directed by a guy called Gore Verbinski. But apparently it has been cancelled before it even got off the ground. And the reason being is that Gore Verbinski insisted on the fact that this movie be R-rated. Now, Verbinski, who previously included the 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies and Rango, revealed that this was the major contributing factor to the cancellation because he insisted that it be R-rated. Now, I kind of understand that because were the games not R-rated? If I remember, they were pretty sort of scary stuff. I mean, I remember the first BioShock. Remember the second one. I never played the third one. Did you play any of the BioShock games?
I downloaded the first one, played a little bit, but I did mean to play a little bit more. It didn't grip me, but it did look all right, to be honest. I did want to play a bit more. So I can't really speak with any authority on this game at all, but I can understand the reason why he would want to go R-rated, because it's not for kiddies.
No, and this is again another example of a movie studio really not understanding the audience. I mean, BioShock was an interesting game. Certainly, the first one I remember was in this underground sort of underwater city, kind of like Poseidon Adventure meets Freddy Krueger, and it was very strange, very steampunk. And I remember it's been a long time since I played BioShock, so sorry guys, but I remember you collected different powers, if I remember rightly. The second game I think was in a city in the clouds. They kind of went through all of these things, and that I
think number 3 Number 3 was that Infinity, something BioShock Infinity,
something like that.
Up in the clouds, and you're just zip lining and jumping across different things. I never played it, but
it's I remember enjoying it at the time. I remember it being quite scary because you had this sort of robot dude walking around with a girl. R-rated or 15. I think you could have got away with a 15 rated movie, but as soon as you make R-rated movies, you limit your audience. But on the other hand, most of the audience for the BioShock movie would all be in that R-rated range by now. So
they would be.
I don't know if I buy that this was the only factor in cancelling. It's a shame because I would have liked to have seen that, what they would have done, but it depends if they went with the underworld sort of underwater look if they'd gone with the first game. And just quickly, because we are honoured.
Hello, Dave.
Never forget, Dave. Never forget. Hello, buddy. Hello, Chuck, by the way. I thought you'd be flying that lovely new fast drone of yours out in the snow by now, or have you been and done? Because those batteries don't last very long. Anyway, but yeah, I'm kind of gutted. I didn't even know about it. I admit I didn't know there was going to be a BioShock movie, although I probably do remember that us covering it at some point. But it's kind of a shame. It is. It could have been an interesting film, but
it's odd that because one director said no, sorry, I'm not doing it because you're not making it R. Another director hasn't stepped up and gone, do you know what? I'll make it. And no, it seems it just canned it because that one director has said. So surely there's something else going on there, because another director would have stepped up and gone, all right, yeah, I'll make it in your vision. I need the cash.
I don't know. It seems an odd decision, but it is what it is. It's unfortunate. I do remember enjoying the game, but it's been a long while since then. As Gareth calls me, I'm an octopus, and it's been a long while. I'm sure if he's here, he would trigger all the thoughts and memories that I had with the game. It's because I do remember enjoying it at the time, and I remember I think Gareth was playing it as well. So it could have made for an interesting film, or it couldn't have done. I kind of see why he wanted to go R-rated, but yes. Anyway, we're going over old ground, so we should really move on to the next story.
Enjoying the podcast so far? Why don't you give us a like on YouTube? Thanks.
See, getting better, but unfortunately, I didn't have the tab ready. I know I suck. I'm sorry. Gareth makes this look so easy, but for whatever reason, on my lame-ass machine here, it doesn't actually put the tabs in order, even though they're in order. But anyway, here's a story for you. So Tom Holland apparently auditioned for Finn in Star Wars, the Disney trilogy. He is quoted as saying, "I had quite a few. I've read the wrong lines at the wrong audition before. I remember my audition for Star Wars. I was like 4 or 5 auditions in, and I think I was auditioning for John Boyega's role. I remember doing this scene with this lady, bless her, and she was just a drone. What? She had wings and stuff. So I was doing all this, like, we got to get back to the ship, and she was going beep bop 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 beep pop. I just couldn't stop laughing. I found it so funny. I felt really bad because she was trying really hard to be a convincing android or drone or whatever they are called. Yeah, I obviously didn't get the part. No, because they're called droids, Tom, not drones. Drones are this is a drone. That's a drone. Sorry, I'm just showing off the fact that I've got a brand new drone. Just while we're geeking out, 0 to 60, 2 seconds.
How interesting, Keith.
Anyway, so Tom Holland.
I like Tom Holland. I like the fact he was probably asked, have you had any auditioning fails? And this is something that come up in his mind. Yeah, I can see why he didn't get the part. If he's laughing at the woman doing the beep bop beep as a droid, instead of actually saying the lines. Whereas John Boyega, proper pro, powers on through, does the lines, delivered it, mate.
Poor old John Boyega got run and truly screwed after the first film, as they really couldn't work out what his role was, and because the movies were all disjointed. I think you all know by now our views on the Disney sequel trilogy, but it's a shame that sorry, I'll respond to that comment in a minute. It's a shame that John Boyega didn't get a larger role, because I actually really quite like John Boyega. Loved him. He's a nice bloke for the most part. And he has since come out and been quite critical of Disney Star Wars, which I quite like. Doesn't hold back, which again, it's risky, but he feels strongly about it. But Tom Holland in it, I don't know. I don't know if he would have been right for the role. I mean,
I think Boyega,
he's probably actually done himself favors by not getting it because you know.
Boyega did what he did in the film. He hasn't done himself any harm. He just did what he was told, really, and it's not his fault that the writers couldn't come up with anything decent for him. So
it's what happens when you set out to make a trilogy but don't have a coherent freaking plan to make 3 coherent films that all stick together. It's more all we've got a political platform. Let's push our politics rather than let's tell a story that actually connects. I mean, it still annoys me because it could have been something different. But you know, we've had The Mandalorian and that was all right. I know it's not Gareth's cup of tea, but I've quite enjoyed it. It's certainly better than WandaVision. Anyway, I think we should refer to some of the comments. You guys won't understand this. This is Chuck talking drone geeky stuff. Okay, buddy. Yes, rub it in. Yes, I haven't got them.
This one here. You just tuned in. Yeah, Gareth called in sick. So we're holding the fort, you know, like the pros we are. You right, Dunk? No.
See, now you don't understand. No, you don't understand that.
This is not.
No, you don't understand that because you haven't seen it, but it is cool, nice. It is really cool. Honestly, even you will not. You will be impressed. Even you will fail not to be impressed by it. It's the most epic thing ever. Anyway, and yeah, not yet, Malcolm. Not yet. I haven't been too should I say adventurous with it yet.
Was that a hold my beer moment?
I will say this, and this is actually poignant because of this podcast. Learning to fly a freaking X-wing on the PS4 and using Gareth's VR has helped me an awful lot. Believe it or not, it really has. So cheers, guys. Dave said Tom Holland was good in the new Spider-Man movies, although being said, the whole franchise has been mired by pointless rights-related reboots. Can Marvel and Sony just get that shit? Yeah. And then Dave writes another essay on Disney Star Wars, but we've kind of covered that. Chuck says hope Gareth gets well soon. Yep, so do we. As does Dave. And hey Babster, and Babster, thanks for your lovely comment on my video on my channel. Much appreciated. Right, I think we need to go on to the next story, which actually is it? Hang on, sorry.
Hang on a minute. You need to hit one of these.
Yes, go on.
Watching the content so far? Why don't you leave a comment and join in with us?
Right, we have a trailer, and it is for Star Wars: The High Republic, which I think is still a comic book, but we shall play it for your viewing pleasure.
Centuries before the rise of the Empire, prosperity, pioneering, and adventure marked the era of the High Republic. Leox Jossi is the eccentric pilot of a vessel known simply as the Vessel, co-piloted by Appy Hollow and navigated by Geo, who appears to be a rock. Leox is a charming rogue from the frontier. When a group of Jedi seek transportation to the Outer Rim, Leox and his loyal crew are hired. But disaster strikes as debris from a horrific accident littered across hyperspace threatens to tear the vessel apart. It'll take more than a galaxy-wide disaster to fray Leox's go-with-the-flow attitude. With his effortless piloting, Appy's efficient repairs, and Geode's quick response, the vessel safely exits hyperspace, presumably in the middle of nowhere. With the transportation business flourishing, ferrying immigrants to the frontier, native pirates plot against these outsiders.
See, now, I don't know about you, right? But that did absolutely nothing for me.
I think I must have. I stopped myself. I had a drink from falling asleep about 4 or 5 times during that trailer.
Funny enough,
trash.
Yes, it does. It doesn't even sound good, does it? I mean, Gareth makes some funny notes here, and I actually had the same points. First off, he said Leo is gay. The shit is called The Vessel. Yeah, wow, came up with something imaginative there.
Oh, well done.
And his co-pilot is a rock, a rock.
They've really thought this through. I didn't like the sound of it. When I first heard of it, I thought they were going to be doing something a bit like The Mandalorian, live action, whatever. And then we heard it was going to be cartoon. I thought it was going to be,
I think it's
a little bit more like what you guys were watching. I thought maybe I might watch that. Now they're showing this. It's just drawings. I'm out completely, 100% out.
I was out from the offset because, as you know, we covered this. Well, you may or may not remember, we covered this a few months ago, where what they wrote on the board was all about political correctness and all of that crap. And that was what the number one thing on the list was. It wasn't, and even for our non-politics man there, that got to you because it's like, what's they were more bothered about diversity and all of this crap. And I'll be honest, the first thing that came to me was it's another platform. And I'm just not interested. They're not trying to tell a story.
Trailers are meant to be interesting,
meant to
draw you in, excited, give you a premise. I've got no clue after seeing that.
It didn't even feel Star Wars. It didn't.
No.
It just didn't. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was the voiceover. It just didn't.
The voiceover didn't work either. And this is exactly how I felt about it. And that's it. Yeah. Not worth my time. Next.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Gareth put this as it just looked like a pile of. I'm sure Gareth would have his opinion on this. To me, I have to say, I'm sorry, it just looked like a pile of bollocks. I know the recent events, which I'm not going to go into, have one and truly switched off some fans again because of certain things. I'm still going to watch the Disney Plus stuff that comes from Jon Favreau camp because I know that he's at least trying to tell a story. And I've enjoyed The Mandalorian, and I enjoyed. I'm looking forward to the Book of Boba Fett because I want to see what he can do with it. It might not. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I've enjoyed it. And I tuned in every week.
I liked The Mandalorian. I watched it with the kids. It's one of the series I could watch with the kids, along with WandaVision. Once that actually got going, it held their interest a bit. I'm looking forward to see what happens with Loki when that comes out, and maybe a bit of Boba Fett as well. We'll see what happens there. But this can jog on. Yeah. This High Republic. I like the High Republic thing because it was one of my favourite Knights of the Old Republic. Yes, exactly that. It's an exercise in ticking boxes. I hate it.
Can you lot stop all perving over my wife, please?
If you weren't there filming her, putting her out in front of everybody.
It was her idea. I'm a bit concerned by that.
Idea.
It was, and it was genius. Especially the legs at the beginning. That was all her idea.
I'm expecting at the bottom it to say OnlyFans lemon.
How do you know what OnlyFans is like? How many subscriptions you got? Darling, I thought you got a pay rise. Nah. Look at his bill, $100 each month to OnlyFans.
It's just when it's at the bottom of your droning.
I agree with you, Babster, though. It is just another tick boxing thing. It's just it's rubbish. And I really I have no interest in it at all. I'm just looking forward to the Book of Boba Fett. I think that could be quite good. And I'm still going to support it because let's face it, the whole Gina Carano thing wasn't Jon Favreau who's doing. Anyway, we should move on to the TV. Now, let me get up the next tab. Sorry about this. I know that I don't usually have to do this, so I'm not as fast or as streamed as Gareth is. He's very good at this kind of thing. Right, so we're getting the people behind Cobra Kai. Or the producer and Deadpool writers are working on a TV series based upon Twisted Metal. Now, Sony, I'll read the story because I think I know what it was, but I don't remember it that well. Sony's officially moving forward on a live-action Twisted Metal TV series at last, with the producers of Cobra Kai and the writers of Deadpool on board. Twisted Metal first came out in 1995 and has been a number of sequels to follow, with the most recent being Twisted Metal Black, which originally came out in 2001. Launching on the PS4 in 2015 through PSN. Is this a game, Nige?
Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Twisted Metal.
Okay.
On the PS1.
All right. Okay. So the games are
Destruction Derby style game. Competitors will fight it off, get weapons, bang, destroy each other.
Had I read on in Gareth's notes, the games are focused around Demolition Derby, with each following a different storyline, and somehow revolves around Twisted Metal, a derby event taking place once a year and grants the winner one wish of their choice. The live-action TV series reported to center around as yet unnamed protagonist trying to complete a delivery in a post-apocalyptic world in exchange for a promise of a better life. Kind of heard of something like that a bit before. Not much else is known, although it's said that the clown character Sweet Tooth, a recurring antagonist clown who drives an ice cream truck, will make an appearance. Nigel, you need to fill me in because this is one of those situations where you actually probably know more than I do.
Well, let me just find this for you. Twisted Metal Sweet Tooth is it's like an ice cream truck. It is a bit of a fucking psychotic clown type. Hang on. Fucking hell, you just can't find a picture when you want one because you drop me in it. So, it's tough to find it, really. It is an ice cream van, essentially, kitted out with a metal bumper, clown face. It's pretty gnarly to say. He makes an appearance in the game. You can it's a playable character as well. Nice big truck. So, and I am just as confused as Baxter on this because he doesn't remember it being worthy enough for a series, and it's a bit strange. Yeah. I agree. Well, they are making Mortal Kombat into a film, aren't they? Mm-hmm. So how can they make a tiered thing into this massive production and film? This essentially, Twisted Metal is just similar, right? It's a face-off with cars defeating each other, and I don't know how they can make it.
I think they're hoping by the Cobra Kai producers and the Deadpool writers. Here's the thing, right? We all know what makes Deadpool good, and it's not the writers, it's Ryan Reynolds. If it didn't have Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, wouldn't have been as good, right? Cobra Kai only works is because it's based on member berries. And don't get me wrong, it's expertly executed on screen, and it's a really good series. But what it is doing is recapturing that original movie and then the two sequels all in our minds, and it's going, remember this, remember that, and that. It is member berries to a certain extent, but what they've done is they've advanced the story, and it makes me, they've got a pre-existing franchise there that they've built upon, and that's why Cobra Kai works so well, and I love Cobra Kai, but this is a computer game, and I'm as confused as Babster. It does stick in the back of my head now about the clown. I'm sure I did play a game with a clown in it, and I might have played it with Gareth, funny enough.
Most recently, the clowns car, Sweet Tooth's car, was a car you could unlock or buy in Rocket League.
Yes, I remember that. Yep, you're right.
It's just this white van with red spots on it, with a little evil clown face on the front. Really,
it does ring a bell. But I mean, reading what I've read here, it doesn't immediately jump out at me. Like ooh, and I think they're trying to make the ooh and as I said, by sticking what's been successful movies and a successful TV series on top of that to make people go, oh, I'm going to watch that. But well, we'll have to see. And the post-apocalyptic world and driving to save your thing, wasn't that done in a movie with what was it called, Death Race? And then it had a really shitty sequel.
No clue. But
no.
Babs has got this. I would like to see any series around ID Software game. The latest Wolfenstein games as a series would be ace. Yeah, do you know what? I'd prefer that. I do like the Wolfenstein games. They're very good. Very good. So, anything. No. Another one. Jog on, mate. I'm not interested until I see a trailer.
Right. I'm now going to hand this over to you, although the next one is a trailer. But it's now. So apparently, first up is a trailer, Nige. So I'm hoping that you've studied the gaming notes here, because apparently this is a trailer for a.
Are you talking about Aliens Fireteam?
Yes.
This is not a trailer. This is a playthrough thing that they've done with IGN, and this is IGN playing through with the developers and talking about the game as they go, showing some gameplay. As it says on this video, first 25 minutes. I'm sure there's a lot more to the game than what they showed.
Oh, nice.
But
it does look interesting though.
Yeah, it might do to you, but
what? Not you?
Nah.
Is this not your sort of game?
I can't really see very much to it. Like you're sitting there looking down a corridor shooting.
In each level, there's always
Aliens, I do. Aliens.
It could be like the Division in space in the Aliens world. Gareth might love this because he loves Aliens.
I think this is why he's added it, but I might. This kind of interests me because I kind of enjoyed playing the Alien games. I don't know why. Maybe I quite like the Alien films, so I quite enjoy playing the games. I bring this up every time, but it's my only claim that I can beat Gareth on something was Alien versus Predator. It's the only time when he got really, really annoyed. Accused me of cheating. I didn't. Just stood up on the roof as an alien and dropped down on him and obliterated him, and he really got pissed off about it.
Well, this one. So, Dave, this I don't think it's meant to be a sequel or anything like that.
No.
And it's not meant to be playable the same as Alien Isolation. It's a completely separate game. It's a different type of game. It looks like it's a 3-player co-op. So it's nice. You can play with friends.
I have to say, it looked good to me. The minute I saw those aliens and stuff, it was bringing back memories of. And joking aside, I used to love playing those type of games with Gareth. I did. No, it doesn't look like Isolation, but Isolation was a. You see, Isolation was like, if you look at the Alien movies, Aliens 1 and 2 are very different movies. Aliens 1 is a very psychological, horror-esque film, whereas Aliens 2 is much more of a blockbuster because, James Cameron thing, and it was the very, very different films. And Alien Isolation was more like your first Alien movie, whereas Aliens versus Predator and a lot of the other Aliens games are more like blockbusters. This looks in that second vein. I get why Gareth is marginally excited about it. It's looking pretty good.
I think if you're playing with your mate, 2 mates, and not some randos on the internet, then this could be a very good game. It could get very intense with all the aliens coming at you and you're shooting, and shoot. It looks like a looter shooter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
All they've shown really is just going around a little ship and just shooting at aliens as they come, picking up a bit of loot here and there. Be nice to know.
But I mean, that might not be your type of game because no one's waving a wand. But I'm taking the piss. But I like the look of that. I have to admit, from the little bit that we just watched, it looks quite good to me.
Well,
and, I get why he's it.
Gaff might get it, and Malcolm might get it, and once you get your PS5, you can join in with them.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. Right, hang on then. Let's. I'm up for it. I'll if I get my PS5. That looks like a kind of game I might enjoy if I ever get a PS5. But anyway.
Brave enough to follow us on social media? Why don't you follow us on Twitter @MonkeyNutPunch? Thanks.
Nice. Seeing as you're meant to be doing the gaming news, do you know about this next one?
So, the Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
You need to. There we go, Keith. Yes. Right. So, there's going to be a new Nintendo Switch coming out. It will have 4K support and an OLED display. Which will be supplied by Samsung. So, interesting. They're going to make the screen size 7 inches, which is bigger than the current 6.2 inch, which is also bigger than the light version, which is 5.5 inch. Anyway, but it will be able to output 4K resolution to a 4K TV. I think it was originally brought out about 4 years ago. So they're saying it's due a bit of a refresh or an update, a bit like what they did with PS4 and PS4 Pro, I suppose. So interesting. They don't mention anything about price point at this moment. I suppose they might sell it for the same cost as what they're selling at the moment. And if they
it's also interesting reading this because what it's not saying is it'll plug into a 4K TV, but 4K support is not 4K resolution. Although, according to the report, it will also be able to output 4K resolution. Knowing it means that Gav is putting notes 4K support isn't 4K. That's technically true, but if it's going to output in 4K resolution, then yeah. I love my Switch. I love the Switch. I think it's awesome. It was a great little console, a lot of fun. My niece, I'll never forget it. She loved it. Loved playing Mario Kart on it. We sat there when I was back in the UK with our little Joy-Cons playing Mario Kart on it, so much so that she got one for Christmas and loves it. And recently got the new Ring Fit thing, which I haven't tried yet, but gonna give that a go. I'm looking forward to that. But the Switch is a cool little console.
The Zelda game.
Well, you see, this is there's a sequel, right? Okay, Zelda. But Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time. I make no bones about it. I'm not a wildly, I haven't played as many games as you two guys, but I adore Breath of the Wild. It's an awesome game. I love the whole uniqueness of the thing because I could plug it into the TV, and then when the wife was giving me grief, this was before I got a great big 4K TV in my office. If she was giving me too much grief, I could pick it up and just go and play it on the bed, and that's what I loved about it. But I really got into the game. I don't know what it was about Breath of the Wild, but I really got into it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. But here's the thing. There's meant to be a bloody sequel to this game, and it was announced like freaking 2.5, 3 years ago. Where the bloody hell is it? Because Nintendo, have my money. Unfortunately, I've already spent all my money on DJI. Got my money first. Sorry.
Don't go into drones on this.
I'm not going into drones. Gareth's not here to stop me. But I'm joking. But I don't know if I would buy the 4K version. I mean, I don't know if that's going to. It depends what it does. If it's Nintendo going to go, oh, it's not going to be compatible with older Switch games, or the newer Switch games are not going to work on. If it's like a PS4 Pro, it's probably not worth it. But if it's a brand new console,
well, yeah, do you know? actually, Babs says it quite well. Nintendo Switch, ace machine for modern retro, and he loves it. Needs a bigger screen. Yeah, this new one is 7 inches instead of 6.2, slightly bigger. It is outputting a 4K, then it must have better hardware.
I agree.
It will need more graphics memory to output 4K and then more horsepower to display the image. And he thinks it will be about 350. What's the cost at the moment? Is it about?
I think I paid about 300 for it at the time. I got it when, you see, this was one of the consoles when everybody can get one. I was lucky enough just to got one, and I got logged on at the right time and ordered it, and it was there when I got back because I ordered it literally. It was about 4 years ago that I ordered it. So yeah, it is a 4-year-old console. But I agree with Babster. Yeah, it is an absolute masterpiece, Zelda. But here's the thing, right? I've plugged it into this 4K TV. Now I've got, if not the same TV as Gareth, the newer one in the next year, which is actually technically slightly worse than the one that Gareth's got. But it was a £300, probably about $450 in the UK. 4K 55-inch Samsung TV. It does a bloody good job of upscaling. It looks good at 55 inches for a 4K TV, or downscaling. So that was what I was essentially, in a long-winded way, trying to say. It looks okay on my 4K TV. It does. And I hooked up Zelda the other day, and it does look okay. Because I was sort of like, I want the new Zelda game. I want to get back in. Although at the moment I'm into Miles Morales on the PS4 and hugely enjoying it. So
I've been doing a bit of looking at the moment on the game website, and you can get a Nintendo Switch Neo with what looks to be 3 games: Super Mario World plus Bowser's Fury. No, 2 games, and Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But that's almost £400. I don't see where you can buy one.
But it's Nintendo, isn't it? And it's still popular. So it hasn't shocked me that the Switch has gone down. I mean, look, after the Wii, the Wii, whatever it was, not the Wii U, the next one on for it, which I think is the one that Babs has got, that was a commercial failure for Nintendo. They very, very nearly went bust. The Switch just completely reversed their fortunes. And I remember you two guys sort of going, oh, I'm not sure about this. Oh, it's going to break. Oh, it's not going to be durable. No, my Switch is still really good 4 years later. And I've been taking it in and out of that dock, and it's still really good. The Joy-Cons all work. And I'll tell you what, it's in 30-plus degree weather most of the time here. And it's stood up to it. So it's a damn durable little console. I will give it its dues. After 4 years, it's still... Battery life on it is probably a little bit worse than when I first got it, but not noticeably worse. I love it. I love my Switch. I do. I love it. It's an awesome little console.
Yeah. Well, it'll be
if I had
to see what this comes out at, because nowadays a console, when it comes out, it really should be outputting 4K. We were surprised that Nintendo Switch, when this was first getting released, I think it was only going to be 1080, I think, whereby at the time you had the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. I mean, the Xbox One X was probably about to come out, and that was going to output to 4K, and the PS4 Pro could do 4K. So Sony and Microsoft went a different route to Nintendo, which is pretty typical, really, isn't it, for Nintendo?
Yeah,
they're doing their own thing, and they love it.
It's I think they're all as I said, I love my Switch. I'm a satisfied Nintendo customer, I have to admit. Anyway, we should move on to the next story.
Hi, we've also got a Facebook page. Why don't you pop over there and give us a like? You can also watch the live streams on there. Thanks.
Yes. And now let me share the screen, because I have to, find the damn tab again. Right. This is the
The article essentially is there was a a loophole on the game website which allowed customers to buy consoles 24 hours after the restock, which apparently left them amazed. Essentially what happened here, people had got in, queued, and then added their consoles to their baskets, and then I think something must have happened for them not to be able to buy it there and then. I'm not sure what, but it seems people have gone back in, logged in, and the console was still in their basket, and then they were able to purchase it. So,
Lucky buggers.
well, the thing is, they shouldn't count their chickens, because until they get the confirmation from Royal Mail that it's being delivered on a certain day or going out for delivery, they should not be 100% expecting their console, because there might have been a glitch, there might have been something wrong, and they might just not have the consoles left. But a few might get them.
Well, yeah. I hope you do. It's still really quite difficult to get. No love. Funny enough, I saw one because I haven't seen one in real life. I stopped off because they've opened up all the roads again, and we can get out of our province. I went to pick up an item that I've mentioned far too much, and then on the way back, I stopped in another great big huge mall because they have another shop for an item that I needed for the item that I've mentioned far too much, and they didn't have any in stock. But I walked around there because I just hadn't been out for a while, and I walked around and I walked into a shop and they had a PS5 on display. It's a beast, isn't it? I mean, it is huge. It's even bigger than I thought it was. And they were taking pre-orders, but they weren't telling you when it was likely to come. But they were taking pre-orders. No, because they were the ones that deliberately screwed me over and were corrupt, and it's absolute because I caught them. Basically, I bought stuff from them before, and they were the ones I went to try on the day the pre-order was launched here, and I know because I was monitoring the connection to the website. Their website never came up, and I had multiple connections open to it on multiple internet things, monitoring that site, and it never came up, right? And they then came out sold out of all stock. So they deliberately took down their website because they had given it to the preferential customers, and that's what they've been accused of, even in the press. And they're denying it, but it's bullshit. I know they did it, and I don't think they had that many. So I think all the staff got them, but they had to make a big, song and dance of it because that's what Sony demanded. But they didn't sell any through that website link. It's absolute bullshit. So no, I refuse to order from them. Sorry, they really wound me up. So I'll wait. I can wait now. I wanted to play Miles Morales. Right, that was the thing that was bugging the crap out of me the most. And I just thought, solid, and I bought it on the PS4, and I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. So I can wait. I've got other toys to be playing with.
Once you get the PS5, you can put your PS4 game in it and play it there anyway.
Yeah. Malcolm, I heard you got your PS5. Congratulations, buddy. I hope you love it. Genuinely, I do. Play Miles Morales. It's fucking awesome. I'm really enjoying that.
I just want to just say a big no. Actually, for me, I'm trying to find an Amiga 600, and it's proving just as difficult to buy one because I keep getting outbid than it is to get my PS5. I actually got the PS5 easier than I did find this Amiga, but I'm still chatting to the guy you put me in touch with, Napster. So unless you're trying to cross-play, I had to revert to PS4. Wait, what? On what game?
I think he's talking about. Anyway, we should move on because talking of PS5s.
Hi, this is Nigel, and I'm talking in my lovely narrator's voice. Bask in its loveliness, but don't bask for too long. We need your help. Come to YouTube and watch our videos for the love of God. Well, send Keith round to your next barbecue and he'll eat all your food. Toasty! You have been warned.
Okay.
Toasty! Right, Nigel, this is the one that's probably going to trigger me, isn't it?
Right. So there was a petition, a government petition in the UK, trying to do away with this whole scalping business, really. And sorry, it was saw a comment there. So the petition to the UK government was to basically put a halt to scalping. It has now been read, and there's been a review and a response to it. I don't know if it's gone to the House of Commons yet to be debated, but when it does, hopefully it'll go the same way as what they do with electronic ticket buying, because you've got it up there. So electronic ticket buying is banned if it's bought via bots. So it's illegal if you buy a ticket to a concert or whatever using a bot, because that's where the reselling comes in. Now the petition is asking for that same rule or law to be applied to physical things, among them being the graphics cards, PS5 and Xbox Series. So here is what we've been saying. For now, our top tip is to stay patient, to refuse to buy from scalpers, and you removed it.
Oh, sorry. Do you want me to share it again?
It's all right. I'll read it again. I've got it now. For now is our top tip: to stay patient, refuse to buy from scalpers, and to buy from a trusted retailer. We understand how frustrating it is to wait for a new device, but holding out to buy a console at the recommended price from a retailer is what you should do. And that's what we've been saying since the start.
But there's obviously a lot of people feeling about this, because to respond to a petition, I mean, it isn't okay. It's not just about the PS5s and Xboxes. I mean, in the notes, the practice is most prevalent in the buying and reselling of events tickets, but also has a significant impact on sales of trainers, clothes, and technology. And as you mentioned, especially 3080 RTXs. The most recent case is the launches of the PS5s. Yeah, and I've seen it. I've firsthand seen it. But I mean, whether it's bots going on here or just dodgy freaking backhanders, I don't know. But look, I know that the pandemic has not helped the situation, and the stores being shut has fueled this, but there has been a lot of dodgy shit going on with these, and it's not just in the UK, it is worldwide, and it pisses me off. And I still maintain that I think Sony could have handled it better. I know that it's also up to the retailers. I get that. I understand what Gareth is saying. But
it's both. Really. It's a bit of both. So the retailers could have done a hell of a lot better in the way they handled it. But so could have Sony. Sony could have made sure that the stock build up. They didn't have to release a week or two after Microsoft released their Xbox Series consoles, did they? They just wanted to be that competition. But
I think, I mean, it's the stock that they had at launch wasn't going to significantly impact your takings for the holiday period. It didn't matter when you launched this console. Every mother and his auntie was going to freaking well order this thing because it was an awesome console. So why the hell didn't you just delay it until now, where this would have got round a lot of these problems? I maintain there were no bollocks, because there wasn't enough stock to significantly change your Christmas takings. There wasn't. We know that. There's all these so-called 4 million consoles they saw. Most of that 4 million was in the new year. The initial allocation of stock 3,000 fucking units for the whole of Thailand. 3,000. That's all. And I feel like that because of the lack of stock and stuff, it's just massively screwed this. I know that the pandemic isn't helping, and I know that is partly to blame. I understand that, but it is a frustration. It really, really is.
I think if the shops were open, if the retailers were actually open, and you could go in, place your order in person, they would have eliminated the issue, but you couldn't, unfortunately.
No, I agree with you.
Sort of did with my Xbox Series X. I was in the queue, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm an hour in this queue just to log in. So I drove down to the shop. I walked in. I went, have you got any Xbox Series X left for me to pre-order here? And he went, yep. Okay, sign me up, buddy. Did, and I walked out, and I cancelled my queue. Done. I mean, it was different with the Sony PlayStation 5 because Sony royally fucked up with the whole. We're not going to we're going to give you some time, and we'll let you know when in advance we're going to go live. They didn't. That's what they promised, and what they delivered was, and we're live now. And you were like, what the fuck? Everyone's scrambling. Retailers didn't have a fucking clue. Sony royally fucked up with that, and the retailers didn't do themselves any favors either. So
yeah, I agree.
This whole thing is going to keep going on and on and on until
the Xbox launch. The Xbox launch was marginally better handled, but you know, if you got stuck in that queue for trying to order the Xbox on the Xbox Pass thing, and it didn't tell you that you had to go into store, that was badly handled, and that was very annoying. But actually, PS5 was far worse. I mean, they messed up royally, both of them.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you that the PS5 one was worse.
Yeah. So
it's good that the government have responded, even if it is a bit lame. You know, don't go and buy it from scalpers. No, you need to do more than that.
Yeah, I think they're going to be taking it into a discussion or a debate as to what they do and try and implement it in a fashion like they do with ticket sales for events. And hopefully that happens, and it happens soon, because people at the moment who are desperate for one are being taken advantage of by scalpers, because for some reason people have no patience nowadays. So, and they thrive on that. So
yes.
So yes, Papster totally agree. Screw the scalpers. Just don't buy from them. Simple. True. Leave them with that ridiculous amount of stock that they've bought, and it will hit them in the pocket, and eventually they'll end up selling it for the price that they paid because they will be readily available.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, trusted retailer. Do you trust Gabe?
I'm not sure I trust Game that much. I'm not sure certainly don't trust Amazon.
I know Amazon was fucking gaff around with his delivery. And
big time.
Yeah. We've delivered it.
Yeah.
No, you ain't, mate. You're not even here. Give me one.
Yeah.
Get back here.
That was as dodgy as sin, that was.
And yes, that's a Nova game or Argos. Am I wrong in thinking that Argos? No, Argos is a Sainsbury's company, isn't it? It's not an Amazon company.
I don't know who they're owned by anymore.
Argos, you can use Nectar points to buy stuff in, and Nectar is owned by Sainsbury's. So I think they are Sainsbury's own Argos. I think. All right, mate. You got your 3080. Don't need to rub it in. To be fair, I don't care because my motherboard wouldn't even run something like that.
Oh, don't get him started on his motherboard. Seriously, the guy is running. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not going to take the piss too much because it is fucking epic. But his case is bigger than the room I'm in. And it's got, I mean, the lights are blue and it's got sort of like fucking wavy lights that look like the fucking warp engine off the Starship Enterprise. It's epic. But it's more powerful than the freaking backup server I've got at work. And that thing backs up the entire company. And his computer is more powerful, more RAM. It's ridiculous. It's awesome.
But the important question is, what colour does it light up?
Blue, because everything that lights up blue, Nige, is awesome. You have to understand this, Nige. Everything that lights up blue, and I'm going to show you this now because you got me right. That's it. See, look.
Hang on a minute.
This shit out.
Can I before you go into that?
A word's too much for you? Then you should follow us on Instagram. We put pretty pictures out. Thanks.
Check this out. I can turn it on. Just listen to this. Look, watch. I know it's up blue. It lights up blue.
There are other colours, mate.
Yes, it can do pink, orange, but blue is the awesome. This thing is awesome. It is
I'm gonna
like
sound
flying an
insulting
X-wing
now.
on Gareth's thing. It is like flying an X-wing on Gareth's PSV VR. It is. It is like a game. You get that rush of when you're flying on a. You know, I get what Gareth likes, those sort of like flying sims that he does. This is like that, but in reality, you hear the noise, and the thing goes from sort of like 1 meter up to 50 meters in the space of a second, and that's right in your face because you've got the goggles on, and it's crystal freaking clear, and it's just it's like nothing. I mean, it brings my love of those kind of space sim games that I've loved on consoles for years with my love of drones. It marries the two together, and if you are a good gamer, you will be okay with flying this because the controls are similar.
So with that drone, I suppose you mean that it comes with VR goggles or so, and you can see through the lens as you're flying it.
Yep. Have a look. Here you go.
Welcome to the Monkey Nut Punch drone chat.
That's the headset you get, but it is like a VR headset, except it's a lot lighter. See, the thing I have with Gareth's headset, PSVR, I love it, but it's quite heavy, and I steam up. These guys are genius because it's got little fans inside, so it keeps them demisted. So it blows air inside. But yeah, it comes with the full caboodle. See, it's first person. It's FPV, they call it. So it's first person view.
You and Gareth share the same trait, which I don't have, and that is a massive head. And I've got a tiny head, and I don't steam up because I ain't got the hair. So
yeah, no, it does it for me. But even the controller for this, because I mean, this is I feel it's worth mentioning because even the controller looks like a freaking Xbox controller, and again, it makes a difference. I went from I've never been when I'm looking at a phone and I'm controlling it, I'm not very, let's say, brave. With this thing, I had it in normal mode, right? It does 30 miles an hour, which is pretty quick. Within minutes, I was going, I'm bored of this. And I had it flying through gaps and everything. And I was confident because it's all that skill of learning to fly shit on a PS4. And it is exactly that skill. Because I'm confident and I'm quite good with those kind of games. The only damn games I was really very good at was Star Wars Battlefront 2 when I was flying in an X-Wing. I was really good at that. I used to do really well online, but I can see all these comments coming.
I'm sorry, were you talking, Keith? I'd like to just move us.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to mention it because it is prevalent. So if I hadn't got learned to use PS4 like that, I wouldn't be as good as I am. So I'm quite happy with it. Anyway, we should. Gareth's not here. I know that we will probably end up talking about this next week because I know Gareth has some strong views, which I will leave Gareth to talk about next week. But I'm not going to say much this week, but I am interested in what you thought.
Now, you're talking about WandaVision.
I am talking about the final of WandaVision. What did you feel?
Yeah,
How did you...
I think, yeah, we will keep this fairly short because Gareth, no doubt, has his say. And we don't want to talk about the same thing twice in a week. So when Gareth's back, it will be a full one. But for now, I still don't get what the fuck Wanda was doing encapsulating that entire village. The whole thing just ended like nothing happened, which was fair enough. What? Literally, the end was like, what?
Yeah. I was disappointed. The build up, the hints, and everything, it amounted to nothing. I know that we're going to go into this in a bigger deal last week, but yeah, it didn't end with a bang, did it?
All I saw was I've forgotten her name. The Shield person, the lady,
Monica. Yeah.
She was met by, is it she Krell?
Krell, yeah, it's the same Krell that was playing oh god, what's her face in Spider-Man 2? I'm crap with games, and Gareth's going to be shouting at the screen when he watches this back on.
Not Fury, yeah.
No,
I thought it was the Krell that was playing
Nick Fury's partner. Nick Fury's partner. That was who that Krell.
She was saying going up there, and I'm thinking, all right, so she's going to.
Because that's where Fury is.
But how would she know where Fury is? She wouldn't. She'd be going, going up to space, fantastic. But she doesn't know she's going to go meet Fury, and that was literally the whole series in a nutshell for me.
There was another. I don't know if you carried on, but there was another scene after that. Because I know the end credits are extraordinarily long, so you might not have missed it. But there was another one with Wanda in some kind of Swiss Alps wooden thing where there's two Wandas. There's one Wanda sitting on drinking tea on this cabin, and then there's the one Scarlet Witch Wanda reading the Darkhold.
You see,
magic crap.
I saw the mid-credits one, which was the going up to space to see Fury thing. And I went, usually there's only one. Leave. And that's
I mean, we'll go over it in fine detail when Gareth's back next week. The one thing I will say that I was happy about is that they did bring Vision back, because I like Paul Bettany as Vision. And the one thing I've quite enjoyed was Paul Bettany as Vision. I don't get me wrong, I think What's Her Face has done a good job as Wanda, but I don't think this was. I don't get why this has existed. To me, this hasn't moved us on that much, other than bringing Vision back, and it's a vehicle to launch Monica Rambeau into the Marvel universe. I'm still looking forward to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think that might be good. Gareth doesn't. I don't know what I don't think he's that excited about it. And I agree with you, Nige. I am properly excited about Loki, but there is that worry that they've recast Loki, which I don't think they have. I personally don't think they're that stupid, but I understand Gareth's skepticism.
I'm interested to see what happens next. I thought there was going to be something in Wanda in the last episode to tease you with what's going on there, but there wasn't anything really in the episode. And you say Vision's back, but Vision's back in the other form, isn't he?
Well, he's in the white form at the moment, but he can change his appearance. That's part of his thing. So you'll probably, next time we see him, he'll be back as Vision as we know him, just without the Mind Stone. But he got his memories back. So he that bit of I am Vision, and then he zaps off into the wherever. That is him as Vision back. What's interesting is he didn't immediately go to Wanda. So it's we'll go into it mainly next week, but I think you can tell I was a bit disappointed considering what earlier episodes hinted at and just didn't equate to. But I said this last week. I said, look, I think we're going to be disappointed by this, and I wasn't wrong. But we'll go into it in a more detail with G next week, hopefully. But anyway, that was a brief touching upon it because we needed to at least mention it. But we have now got time for our final what the fuck story. And Gareth hasn't let us down this week. I shall share the story for you. So, postal worker left in stitches by unfortunate typo on delivery instructions. A postie shared an image of the delivery instructions left by a customer containing a very unfortunate error, changing the innocent request into something else entirely. Thankfully, online orders were able to be added to the Online orders will be able to add it to the delivery instructions asking for precious parcels to be left in a safe place and dropped off with a friendly neighbor to avoid any longer wait. But one postal worker was left in hysterics when a customer request containing an unfortunate typing error has changed innocent instructions into something else. There is a deliverer to safe pace request for this item. Attempt to deliver to the customer first. If they are not in leave this item in their nominated place enclosed on the porch. Additional information. Please ring bell after pooping in the porch. Thank you. Oh dear, brilliant. That's why I insist on a what the fuck story, because you know it brightens our mood.
I just hate these articles. It's why they could have just simply had the picture, but they had to write some waffle about how it relates to their fucking life and life nowadays. And just show me the picture, you bastard.
It's still fun, yeah, but it's still not quite as good as a dog running with a dildo in its mouth looking so. I will never get over that picture. I will never get over that picture. I've got it saved somewhere because it still makes me giggle because it's the look of sheer joy in its face. It's great big rubber dildo. I wouldn't get over that. That was the pinnacle of what the fuck stories, in my opinion.
That and the lady who did a live BBC interview with a massive dildo on the shelf behind her.
Yes, I've forgotten that as well. That was very good as well. Yes. Anyway, we've got through it, Nigel. We have succeeded, and we've braved, and we've persevered, and we've got through to the end. And I am now dead because
That's because we're brave and stunning. That's what we are.
Stunning and brave. He's shouting at the screen now. You realise that. But no, it was Gareth as always. Even though he was ill, he's prepped all the notes and it's made it a lot easier. And I have to say, and I do compliment him. I do tell him this one. It is not easy to do when you're having to do multiple things and keep an eye on the comments and stuff. It is a difficult thing he does every week, and he does it very, very well. So yeah, hopefully he will be back next week, and hopefully he will get better soon. But thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, thanks for joining in as always. And we'll see you in the next one. Nigel, say goodbye.
Goodbye. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye for now.